What did you say? Say much.
It's gonna rain. Look at my daughter. My niece coming in.
You.
And my nephew. It's gonna rain. All right. Let's sing a song. And son-in-law. Bless their heart. Amen. Wait a minute. Come give me one of these brothers. No, man. All right. Bless you. Bless you.
I really feel like it's my Amen. First, giving honor to God and to my loving, caring, beautiful pastor and my first lady in her absence and all of my church family. And I know how Sister Tika feels because when your children pop up, no matter where they pop up, but especially when they pop up at church,
okay.
your heart burns.
Okay.
You know, I grew up at a time when children did not exercise a right to not go to church.
Okay.
They were never asked if they wanted to go. They never, if they said they didn't want to go, no adult heard them. They might say, we might have said it to each other. I don't want to go. But we did not say it in the presence of an adult. And, you know, the kind of damage that has taken place, and like Pastor was saying earlier, in all of the cities across this nation, can be traced back to not just us not taking our children to church or not going to church, but our inability to take instruction. You know, our inability to be submissive. You know, we have been exercising a lot of rights and, you know, exercising a lot of freedom and exercising a lot of things. And in all that, we've made some major accomplishments as a people, as a city, as a nation. But some very key things have been left to the wayside. And those very key things are missing today. You know, things like respect for one another, no matter what. You know, things like loving each other, no matter what. Right. You know, things like being compassionate for each other, no matter what. You know, as most of you know, my son is in jail, and I spoke with him this morning, and I went to visit him, and we talk a lot. He's a very bright boy, and we talk a lot. And he said, you know, Mama, I was talking to, you know, somebody, and he said, there's a lot of stuff in music that really doesn't serve not just young people, it doesn't serve anybody. And I know that our music is different from the kind of music you guys listen to. Our music, you guys listen to music about love, about care and compassion, and man and woman becoming one. He said, and our music is different. It's very different. And there's a, he said this, he said there's a dumbing down effect to our music. Wow. And I was like, whoa. He said, we've been dumbed down. And because we're dumbed down, we operate and we react inappropriately a lot. He said, so, you know, I don't know. He said, Mom, I really don't know what it's going to take for us to come around and get that what we're going through is testing and lessons for us. He said, you know, my friends, you know, all my friends are dead. So they can't wake up and go back to school and go to church. They can't do it. They're not even here. He said, and the few of us that are left, we see how dumbing down, even if I can say, okay, I'm not dumbing down, I see how many young people are dumbing down, and how the very things that sustain life are the very things that we have been completely miseducated about. Love and respect for God. Love and respect for the process of the life and the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Love and respect for our families, you know, our loved ones, our neighborhoods. And he said, and even bigger and more unfortunate is, we don't even realize that the massive distribution of drugs and guns in our neighborhoods have created a plantation that many of us aren't going to get off of. He said, he said, Mama, it's like a high-tech plantation. It don't, you know, we don't see the chains on our arms and our feet, but we live in the chains.
Yeah.
You know, the chains, they're imaginary, but we're tied to the dope house, tied to the club, tied to the liquor store, tied to the gambling shack. All those places serve as a real, have us bounded in a way that he said, you know, I mean, he said, you know, I always tell you, okay, Mom, okay, because I want you to stop talking, right? He said, but really, Mama, I do know what you say when you talk to me. And I understand what you say, and I believe what you say. I believe that is not God's intention for us to go out like this. And I said, well, that alone, son, is over half the battle. When we don't know, when we're dummied down, I stole this phrase, if we're dummied down, we don't even know when we are enslaved. We don't even know when we're in bondage. We don't even know that Satan is having a field day. You know, we got the Satan Stadium filled. We clapping like we had the biggest ball game of the year when we don't know. And so when we learn better and we learn more, we do better and we do more. And so, you know, those of us who have the information and who aren't living lives that work against us, even when we think they're not listening, it behooves us to keep talking. Right. Even if we feel like, you know, we're tired, it behooves us to keep talking. And to back our talk up with some actions. Yeah. We can no longer be the kind of people who could party all night in the club, sleep for an hour, and then get up and go to church looking crazy. What? Yeah, I feel good. That's part of why our children were able to stretch out so far and go in so many directions that we didn't go in.
That's right.
It is, we're now, I'm an elder now. I'm going to be 57 on Tuesday. I'm the elder now. I cannot blame my mother, father, sister, brother, the president, the Congress, the enslavement of African people on any issue I have. Because I've been here long enough to heal. I've been here long enough to grow. I've been here long enough to learn better and do better. So even though there's a lot of systems at work, when I say this nation was flooded with dope and guns, I'm not lying.
That's right.
There's evidence all over the nation. You don't have to go far to see it. When I say that our nation's prisons and county jail systems are serving as a high-tech plantation, I'm not lying. Just go to any of them. You will see brown young men and black young men in droves. In droves. And then you'll say, well, no wonder I don't see them outside. No wonder they're not at home. No wonder they're not in our family dinners. And no wonder they're not at the Easter dinner table, at the Christmas dinner table.
At home with their family.
They've been railroaded to a place that was designed just for them. And so the only way out is through. It's to confirm and acknowledge that these things are taking place, and then live in a way that we make those things alive. Every time I go to visit my son and I tell him I love him, I'm telling him I love him, but I'm also giving him love in a way that he shares with the people he's locked up with. Amen. And I tell him, make sure them boys whose mama ain't here, you tell them I said I love them. Them boys whose grandmas and grandpas ain't here, you tell them I said I love them. And then I ask him, did you tell your friends what I said? Yeah, Mama, I told him. I said, son, you guys are suffering from a lack of love. And not that people don't love you. It's just your miseducation about love, where it is, and how it operates. And so today, I am really, really grateful that I lived long enough to know the difference between love and lust, love and shopping, love and gambling, love and drugs. You know, I learned the difference between those. And I don't have to live in a way that my life doesn't serve me. And by doing that, the kids who are watching me get to do the same thing. When I was the one going to the club, they watched me. And one day I was in the club and they was there too. But today, I don't go to the club. You know, for whatever it's worth, I did survive that part. And I survived it because I'm responsible for saying the club is there. There's some things that's going on in there that look like they're great and exciting and all that. But from somebody who stayed in there a long time, if you land here, it's usually a direct result of staying in the club too long. If you didn't grow up in church, but you land in church, it's a direct result of staying in the club and all of that too long. And so I'm really grateful that my eyes didn't close on me before I could get here, and that the stuff that I'm learning about love, I could have learned a long time ago had I had the courage to not follow the crowd. I didn't have the courage to not follow the crowd. I had to follow the crowd. And so I get to tell young people, you know, the crowd looks cool when you're looking at them across the street, but take a picture of them and see where in 10 years the crowd is. See who's here, see who's left, see what they're doing, see if you can even talk to them. Some of them you ain't going to even be able to talk to. They're not going to be able to hold a coherent sentence. You know, their bodies are going to be broke down, their minds are going to be shut down, and their hearts are going to be broken. Because that's all that Bright Lights in Big City have to offer. So on my birthday, my gift to you guys, you know, I trace myself in my own ways to the shores of Africa. And in Africa, when it's your birthday, you give the people you love gifts. You tell the people that you love them. They don't, like us here, we don't shower. They don't shower the person with the birthday, because the person with the birthday understands, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have a birthday. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have had the kind of love to sustain me with all those attacks that the enemy sent my way. When I was broken-hearted and crying because my marriage didn't work and I thought I was going to die from a broken heart, it was you guys' love that pulled me through. It was you guys' love that pushed me. The pastor, the first lady, called me saying, Sister Thomas, you're going to be all right. Sister Thomas, we're praying for you. We know it's hard right now, but the Lord had already spoke to us. You're going to be all right. I still have a little bit of injury in there. My life is big. Much bigger than that broken heart I had. So on today, my birthday gift to all of you is, on this day, I have you guys all coded in my brain. I have your faces and your smiles etched in my brain for me to remember forever. So on my 57th birthday, I spent it with you guys. I celebrated it with you guys. And my gift to you is for me to acknowledge that I love you, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful, so grateful that God decided He would deliver me to you guys. And that I would know that this is the best thing that could have ever happened to me. So I love you, Pastor. I love you with all my heart. The First Lady, I miss her deeply. I love her. I love Mother Bullocks, Mother Thomas, all of you guys, my sisters and brothers here. I can't call all y'all by name, so don't be mad. But I would not be here whole and complete and free if you guys didn't love me. Love is where I get my freedom from. Love is where I get to soar this earth without being caged up and shackled and bound. Love is where I get to learn more and more and more every day about love. So I love you and thank you for my birthday song.